Alan Page, Leaning Tree. Show you my new turkey call I've got here. This is what I call a flute call. It has a small hole here, and that's what makes it the flute. Now this call is very, it looks simple like a tube call, but it's not a straight tube. So this dimension that goes in the top goes to a 5/8 in the center, and then it flares out at the bottom. So you have 3 different dimensions on this call. So what that does is it causes the air to go from large to small to large again. It gives you a different tone, and you can also play through the hole, which is I call the flute. And what I do is I play it from my hand here. I put it flat on my hand. See, when I move my hand away from it, it changes the tone. At first, it's playing through the hole, and then it goes back to the other. I will show you how I make one right now on the lathe. And I send you this latex, and I'll have a video on how to tune it. That's the key to this. To make this thing sound different, you have to give it some flexibility right here. What I do is I pull up and I get it looser. You don't want it too tight or it's be squeaky. If you want it more raspy, you just loosen it up a little bit. Really cool call. It's loud. I mean, it's great for fly down calls. It's a unique call. I think we'll get turkey gobbling like crazy this year. Nobody else makes this turkey call but me. It's long where your whole hand fits around it, where a lot of tube calls are about this big. And I just don't like those at all. And the top, you know, it has a little piece here. You put your top lip across here, and the bottom lip goes right on the edge of the wood. All right, let's make one. All right. All right, I got a piece of, what is this? This is a piece of black walnut. We're going to do black walnut. So I'm making the first hole right now. Close out a little bit. That's where your mouth is going to go right there. Okay. So I got to take that out. Put another bit in for the other side. But before I do that, I have to change the transition. Inside, that drill bit drove in, and there's a 5/8 hole, so there's a transition I need to fix. So this is what I do here. All right, so I move this over. I have a tool somewhere here that I use, and what this tool does, where'd it go? Here you go. Any of y'all know who David Ellsworth is? He's a good friend of mine. He just passed away this past year. I sure do miss him. But he taught me how to make these tools. You do this for hollow forms a lot. It's great for going inside of things like this. I use it all the time in my calls. Okay? Now I got to drop this down a little bit. What I'll do is change that transition in there. So I'll stick it in, I'll feel the transition. I'm going from 5/8 through that hole, so I'm making a smooth transition from one side to the other. I don't go all the way out the front because that's where my little piece is going to be, block's going to go in. I'm just making that transition better. That's all it takes right there. And then I'll blow it out. Turn it off. Put my finger in there, make sure it's right. Yep, perfect transition. So it's a slope. It's going to that hole to smaller. Okay. So I'm going to take this out, and we got to do another hole in it. Turn it around. Pop it on. Now this is going to be the end. This is a pretty complicated call. It's not a simple tube call. Much more detail to it. Okay, now I got a step drill here. I'll drill it in to open that up. Slow it down a little bit more. Alright, that's all I want to go on that. I'll open it up some more in just a moment. Now I got to change that transition again. So what I do is do the exact same thing I just did earlier. I'm doing on the other end. Got my tool from David Ellsworth who taught me. And this is just a little short one that I made just for my calls. If you don't know who David Ellsworth is, you need to look him up. One of the top turners in the world. And I was lucky enough to call him my friend. So what I'm doing now is on the inside, all those little steps, I'm smoothing it out so it's slick. So I'm giving it a nice opening. Alright. Looks good to me. Alright, now blow that out. Now I got to put the little hole in it, okay? And this is where the flute parts comes in. Decide where I want my hole. I got a little mark here so I can get them all in about the same position. I like to do this before I do anything else because it won't tear out. I should have done it before I did the transition. Well, that's okay. I usually do it right before I do clean it out, so I'll go ahead and clean that out right there because it probably blew out a little bit right there. Okay, so I go in, clean that. There you go. Alright, so I went from that 5/8 hole down to this fluted hole. Okay. All right. Now we're getting closer to getting finish on it. See how she feels. Feels good, nice and smooth. Needs a little sanding. Get a little sandpaper in there. All right. That's nice and smooth and stuff. All right. Now we're going to make the shape of the call. We got it all drilled now. So that's 3 different drills, well, plus this one, that's 4. 4 different drillings. Okay, now we're going to turn it on again. I'll rough it out now. Get it out of square. Put my thumb on. Still might rough it out there. Now I'll start shaping it a little bit more. And I want this a certain size, looks about right. This is what I've got to kind of go by. It's a little bit smaller. That should be good. Now we'll finish shaping it some more. Take a look at it while we're stopping. Kind of got shape here. I want it like that. Let's see, that looks really good there. We got a little spot here. We got to take off a little bit more where it's not quite round yet. That's why you stop it and take a look at it. What's this? Yeah, it's gone now. Alright, feels good now. I'll put a place to put it around your neck so you can put a string on it, tie it around your neck. It's all up in here. Okay, now I'm going to do a little detail on it, make it pretty. Got my knurl, diamond knurl, I'll slow it down, speed a little bit. You got to keep it kind of right there. Put a diamond knurl on there. And I'll do it too right down here. Okay. Now we got to put a detail on that. Feed it back up. Put a little line on both sides of the diamond knurl. And then right here, I'll smooth that out just a hair. A little bit. Make that more around it. Alright, now we're going to put a little couple marks right here. This is where I can put your initials. Right there. Okay, now I got to do one more thing, and this is where the O-ring will go. That will go right there at the top. I got to do a certain depth for that. You got the eyeball. Looks good. Now we're going to sand it up a little bit. We got to do one more thing to it, and we'll be done. Okay, now this is going to get it nice and smooth. I want a little bit of smoothness from the mouthpiece going around there, so I'm going to round that a little bit. Okay. Alright, that should be good. Now I'll take this off. I'll go in the ends of it, round it out a little bit. A lot to this call. You're a turkey hunter, you're going to love this car. It's going to be like nobody else has. When you can find a sound that's different than everybody else, you got an advantage right there. Alright, now what I'll do right there is I'll burn the end of it on the inside. I'll crank it all the way up. Take this steel wool, hold it there, and burn it right around there. It gives a nice look. When I do it on duck calls, it's for your mouth, so that you don't get any ingrain. Same thing. Alrighty, let's stop it and see what we got. Feels good on the inside. Nice transition. There's my little hole. It's got two different colors of the black walnut. This is a lighter colored black walnut where it's kind of on the outside of the wood. So it's light to dark. When it goes through the oil, it'll be very pretty. Of course, I'll put artwork on it, and they all get oiled. Okay, there's your call right there. Of course, I got to put a little like half moon here. That's the next step. There's a lot of steps in this call, and then I'll put the O-ring on it. O-ring goes in that little groove right there. You just put your thin, and I'll show you how to do that on YouTube. And there we go. We got another call made. And where's the one I just had? There it is. This one is made out of Dakota oak. And see how the O-ring goes around it? Okay. Very simple. You can put them on. This will last you a long time. This is really tough. I found some really good material that I really like. If that don't sound like a turkey, I don't know what does. All right, you need a free call? Leading Tree Game Calls on Etsy. Look me up. I'm also on YouTube. You go on YouTube. I don't have it up yet, but in a couple weeks, I'll have a YouTube on this, exactly how to use it and how to put on your O-ring and everything, and how to stretch it like this. Take your finger in and stretch it so you get different tones. You could be out there in the woods and have a real high pitch, and then you can put your finger on there and loosen it up and get it more raspy. I play through the hole, and then I open my hand up and it changes it. Yep. So if you need a turkey on a flute call, one of a kind, look me up at Leading Tree Game Calls. We'll see you soon. Alan Page out in the workshop.